Good morning, my love. Grand Rising. It's the morning of. We're getting ready and about to head over to the surgery and do all that. But let me not forget and remind you of everything that we've been through and how we got here. By faith, we got here, my love. Nichelle Walker, Miss Walker, my wife, my queen, my love. You are my person. You've always been my person. I am your person.
This is me. This is me doing what you asked. This is me not going inside. This is me being vulnerable, being authentic, and making it work. Just like you said we got work to do, and this is me. This is what it looks like. Even though it hurts, I'm still here, and I'm doing it. Right now, I'm feeling kind of like the season of fall, meaning I'm unpacking the last year and a half of my life in a way that I never thought that I would. I am taking the time that I spent with my husband, and I'm like holding on to every little minute. It's like I'm kind of living outside of my body as it's happening, and I can go back and just look at certain moments, and they look so, I don't know, I would say maybe finite, like I can see every little moment, versus when I actually lived it, it felt like it was a blur. It was like what I was doing every day, waking up, getting myself together, then I would get him together. I made sure his teeth were brushed. I made sure he was washed. I made sure he was fed. He had breakfast. And then, I would go to work. And then it would be lunchtime, time for therapy. And so I'd make lunch. We'd do therapy. And it's like, it was just the monotonous things it felt like every day. But now when I look back, I see more than that. I see, like, I feel like I can see, like, us together, like when we would laugh, like waking up in the mornings and him being like, oh my God, you was talking so much. Because I'm a talker in the morning and he's not. Or he was. It's just like I can see him there and I can see us. I can see our journey. I can see just the happiness that he experienced every day. Like he would joke and he would laugh and he was a funny guy. And I can see all of those peaks and valleys and things like they happen, but it's like I can see every little piece, every moment, every speck, like if it was dust versus when it happened. Because when it happened, it was just every day, all day, do this, do that. Did you do this? Did you get that done? Versus now, I can see the gift that God gave me and realize and see it for when it truly is like He gave me a gift. And I just feel like I got a gift in just being with Him. and the extra time I got.
Hey, bud. Hey, Jetty. Hey, buddy. What's up, man? Hey, buddy. Happy to see you again, buddy. I'm happy to see my family again. I'm happy to see you again, buddy. Little members. Ooh. Oh, I said for this for a second. God have mercy.
November the 18th. I think, like, my husband, he was so thoughtful with just the heart of anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the heart man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew the heart. Like, not only did they say he had a heart problem, but he knew how to massage just the average person's heart. Like, how to touch that person and how to talk to their heart, how to tell what was really the heart of the matter of the person, meaning like what they were going through, what their deep heartthrob is, what their red door moment is, like what are they feeling a little about. And for me, it was always being without him. And I feel like he did what he did for me, for everybody. It's like that morning came, it was hard to leave the night before because he had had a whole episode of where I had saw him the day before and I literally held his hand and he called me from the hospital and was like, babe, where are you? And I was like, I'm 10 minutes out. He was like, I need you, come. This was the day before that. I got there and he was having an ultrasound of his heart done. And the lady had finished and I held his hand and he looked at me and he was doing something with his hands. He held my hand and he just said, I've gone through all the surgeries and I just can't endure no more. He said, it's the end and I've endured until the end. And then literally his face and eyes look up towards like, would have been like the machines and stuff. And then there was nothing. And I just felt like from that moment on, that's really where I felt like he was gone. And then I watched them beat on his chest for 33 minutes. And they were one behind another and people were switching out and there was all the things and they were bringing blood and they were doing this and they were doing that and they were asking about a machine and is this okay? And then the chaplain comes and I was just weirdly calm. And I remember thinking, and as this is all happening and all the people are kind of running into the room and everything, I literally looked up and I said, get back in your body. And I just remember I didn't feel him anymore. Like it was just a weird silence. It's like, I don't know, like one of those movies you might watch where somebody's doing something and it's in slow motion, but it's like silent. You don't even think there's air in the room. It's just that quiet. Like the scene is like maybe somebody put the TV on mute or something. It's just weird. And then, they took him away to the cath lab and they did all the things and the doctor came and she talked to us and then we went and we sat with him until about 11 and they were like, you gotta go home. You have to get rest. Y'all gotta do something because y'all are probably gonna be back. We'll call you if anything changes. And I remember getting home. It was about 12. And then I remember just being like, okay, I gotta sleep. I gotta do something. I gotta do something. And then I found a video of him because I'm just looking for just stuff. Something that's gonna like remind me of him. And then I was like, oh, we got footage. What is it? Blah, blah, blah. Ended up looking at it. And then I found a video that he left for me. And I think I watched that thing like 80 times in that one night until I just fell asleep on the couch. And then my phone rang and it was 3:30. Well, dang, it was 3:30 in the morning. It's a lot of threes, yeah. And the doctor says you wanna get back here and you wanna call the family. And I was like, oh. So I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, this is happening. And I just remember like thinking where my stuff is. I think I had on mismatched socks when I got to the hospital. I don't know, it was just crazy. I looked crazy. Like for real. I was just feeling like I think that's when fog fell over me for a moment where it was just like I was just doing things and going places and I don't even know how I got there, but I was there. And that's when it's like, I don't know, it's like when I got to the room, I didn't feel him, but I held his hand, and by then it was super swollen. And it's like they had pumped him so much with IVs and stuff, because then this time it was different. Normally they were trying to bring his blood pressure down, but this time they were trying to bring it up. So he was so full with like all the IVs and the fluids and all the rest of that. He was on dialysis and like ECMO and that that's where everything is circulating through your body and it's doing it because the machine is doing it, not because you're doing it. And they said the machine was doing things more than he was doing things, and they couldn't get it to balance out. And I just held his hand thinking like he always comes back to me, like he always. And then I just realized I didn't have that feeling of like he was here. Like I just hadn't felt like he was here since I saw him the other day. And so like all the family members got a chance to come and they got a chance to see him. They got a chance to hold his hand and to be there. And I felt like that was just him holding on for those that wanted to come for him, to be able to see him, to be there. And then his heart stopped. And they looked at me and they was like, his heart stopped. Do you want us to? And I was like, yeah. And then they pumped his heart for a few moments. And then they looked at me and they was like, do you want us to keep going? And they was like, his heart keeps stopping. And then I was just like, no, because he was in so much pain. And they was pumping so hard. And I was just like, they're probably breaking ribs. They're doing all the things. And then they had did all the things the day before. And then I remember what he said. And then it's like instant peace like fell over me. When he was like, I endured until the end. He told me. He told me the day before. So I asked them to stop. But they did. And then you heard the little lines that you hear on TV and all the things. And then I remember going into the bathroom and they had this little towel thing that you put all the linens in. And I just remember falling on top of that and screaming out. And then I remember my mom and all the family coming and trying to like surround me. And I remember what I thought. I thought that I had lost my best friend and my love. And then I thought, like, who's gonna love me? And then I started thinking about his life. And just his legacy and then the video that I had watched and just all the things. And then there was more family that came and they sat with him and they let us sit there, and then they cleaned his body and there was still some sitting in there. And we just gathered around him and we just mourned as a family together. I mean, and it was so sad. The nurses mourned, the doctors mourned, everybody came by. The chaplain from the day before, the people that we had met from the groups that we had started while we was at the hospital, they came and they mourned. It was just it just felt so impactful. Like we had lost something that was important. And I felt the loss at that moment. And it was great. And it was hard and it was tough. And then we had to get it together and walk out of the hospital with his clothes without him.
Now, no matter what happens in here, but we speaking good things in life, of course, but it doesn't matter what happens. Know and remember everything. Remember our love. Remember how hard you had to fight for your authenticity, for your realness. Your story matters. Your love matters. Your impact matters. Don't shell up. Don't go inside. Like your light, you deserve to spread your light and shine your light and your kindness. People need your kindness in this world, in this day and age. People need your kindness. So don't forget that.